What if I told you every product, every ad, every influencer is secretly built to not make you feel beautiful, but insecure? Here's the paradox. If beauty products actually worked, if they truly made us feel complete, the industry would collapse. The cycle only survives if we keep doubting ourselves. But how do we get here? And why do we keep buying into it? Hi, I'm Vanessa, but you can call me Ness. I spend a lot of time asking why we want the things we want and why do humans behave the way that they do. Cosmetics have existed for thousands of years, but the modern beauty industry took off in the 20th century when advertising merged with psychology. Suddenly, beauty wasn't just decoration, it was identity, status, and morality. Being beautiful became synonymous with being valuable. And once that link was made, corporations realized something. Beauty could be commodified, not as an attainable goal, but as an endless pursuit. Advertising relies on a simple formula: create a problem, then sell the solution. But with beauty, the problem is you. Skin not flawless enough? Here's a new serum. Body not thin enough? Here's a diet plan just for you. Face not pretty enough? Don't worry. There's filler, Botox, even surgery for that. The message is always the same. You're not enough, but you could be fixed. Of course, the standard you're measuring against isn't real. It's filtered, photoshopped, and carefully engineered. But your brain doesn't care when it sees celebrities that you look up to putting on a face that is not real. Psychologists call this an anchor, a reference point that makes your reality feel lacking. And every flawless face or perfect body on Instagram that you see becomes another anchor, nudging you towards consumption. The industry doesn't stop at creams and lipsticks. When products aren't enough for you, it escalates. Lips too thin? Fillers. Nose not perfect? Rhinoplasty. Body not curvy enough? BBLs. Body too curvy? Liposuction. Aging? Botox, facelifts, lasers, and the list goes on. What used to be considered extreme is now marketed as ordinary maintenance. Of course, we live in a culture where influencers and celebrities set the tone for the beauty standards. Celebrities set the tone and influencers normalize it. Filters make it feel even more accessible as you put on a filter on your face and imagine, this is what I could look like if I had work done, if I looked perfect. Remember when people would want to look like their Snapchat filters? Yeah. Suddenly, the natural face doesn't look natural anymore. It looks unfinished. What used to be considered natural beauty is now just the foundation for more things to be added. Think about that. Your body has become the before picture, and the after, that's what gets sold back to you. Surgically engineered and monetized. This is not a small machine. The global beauty industry makes over $500 billion every year. That's $500 billion earned not by making people beautiful, but by convincing them they're not. The beauty industry profits off of your insecurity by selling doubt. And why does it work so well? Well, because beauty isn't just about appearance. It's about belonging. It's about being wanted. Social comparison is hardwired into us as human beings. We want to fit in, be admired, feel worthy, be loved. The beauty industry hijacks that instinct, creating standards that are impossible to meet, then monetizing our failure to meet them. The irony is that beauty products often work temporarily. A cream does smooth out your wrinkles. A lipstick does transform your lips into brighter, bigger, bolder looks. But the relief fades quickly, especially if you know that you can wash it off. And if you don't maintain the cream, if you don't maintain the pill, that all the effects will eventually fade away unless you continue using the product. The industry depends on that cycle, not on satisfaction. It's not about the lipstick. It's not about the cream. It is not about the results. It's about keeping you coming back for another. So maybe the real question isn't, how do I look? Why do I feel the need to look this way at all? Who planted that desire in me? And who profits when I act on it? What if beauty wasn't a product? What if it was something you defined for yourself? Not compared against a filter, not measured by likes, and definitely not dictated by billion-dollar corporations. What if beauty was simply yours? The beauty industry thrives on insecurity, but insecurity isn't inevitable. It's engineered. Once you see the mechanism, you can step outside of it. This isn't about rejecting makeup or skincare. Of course, take care of yourself and invest in your beauty and invest in your health. Make sure you feel the prettiest and step out and present yourself in the best light possible. But it is also about recognizing the system for what it is. A machine that profits off of insecurity and doubt. The question is, do you still want to keep feeding it? So remember, it's not about being skinny. It's about being skinny.